Hey guys, welcome to the Nick Bahe YouTube page. You know what you need to do. You need to subscribe, you need to ring the bell, you need to like the page, you need to leave a comment. I appreciate you. Here we go. We're going. Look at you. No. We're not going to be like Nebraska and have to call timeout on the first play. No.
So let me. I know we said, but I got a thing I got to do here. Come on.
Can you believe that? Can you believe the first play? I had to call timeout.
Yeah, that's it's not hitting all the right buttons right now, right?
No, it's not. Yeah. No, it's not. But that was pretty good. Okay, I made you call time. All right, you're down to, sir. You have 2 timeouts left, so collect yourself while I give these reads here.
I might challenge that.
Okay. All right.
My second time.
This game recap pod is brought to you by Onyx Automotive. Shouts out to Onyx Automotive. They're the best of Omaha, #1 luxury car dealer. They offer industry-leading brands like BMW, Jaguar, Land Rover. They have a great location in Omaha, 150th and Dodge. You can't miss it. Go check them out on the lot or online, onyxautomotive.com. That's onyxautomotive.com. Drive Onyx, the new standard. And this pod is brought to you by Shoot 360 Lincoln, the world's most advanced basketball training facility. Got the t-shirt on for my YouTube people. That's my daughter gives me crap. All I do is wear Shoot 360 t-shirts. Like if I see one person anywhere, I'm wearing the shirt. I went to Disney on Ice on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot 360'd out. Like you just never know, you know?
You got to kind of be the walking advertisement at this point.
Moana needs a membership. Maui needs a membership.
Just asking for my daughter, was there a lot of Maui at this Disney on Ice?
It was the grand finale. It was all, I mean, you had it all. Oh, dog. It was, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of crunk when they did that thing with that. But yeah, so Maui's going to get a membership to Shoot 360. But Shoot 360 is a national franchise that specializes in skill development in the key areas: shooting, passing, ball handling. You got NBA level technology that can be used by players of all ages and skill levels. 3rd or 4th grade rookie, college level pro, everybody in between. Become a member at shoot360.com/Lincoln and fill out the I'm interested form. Spots are filling up, so get on it. It will unlock your game. Here we go. Nebraska, they are victorious. They win 35-11. Bo Ruud, Nicholas Allen Bahe. Let's get into it. Did you go to the game?
I was there.
Because your older brother was there as well. Quick vibe. Give me the vibes check, man. What was the vibes like there? Was it super chill? Was it like a little weird?
It was chill, bro. It was chill. I hear a lot of that. Everybody says chill for everything. Kind of don't. I think I'm over it.
You're anti-chill?
I think I'm over it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you want to be around a chill vibe?
It's everything everybody says.
Too many things are chill.
Everybody says everybody they know is chill. I'm like, no.
That dude's totally chill.
Everybody says it better. So anyway, I will say this. The vibe was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not a bad, not bad energy considering we've lost 2 games. It could have been worse. And, we had a decent start, which helped. I was worried that, one, I didn't know if Sims was going to start. But I was basically the first, if we come out and we throw interceptions and turn the ball, right. I was predicting the groans were going to come out immediately. Yes. And that was going to tell you how the season's going to go. So an early touchdown, a little bit of success, I think got us back on track. So we had a little turnover and people kept it composed to a degree. But I will say this. They did the light show again.
Yeah.
And they did I must have not seen this during the volleyball thing, but they took it to another level.
Yeah,
do you know what those are?
What are those?
They're drones.
No.
Yes. It's a bunch of drones, apparently, that make the shapes. They're lit up like lights, and they'll fly into different shapes. And then they go I
guess I don't know what I thought they were, but I certainly didn't think they were drones.
It almost looks like fireworks. And then it I was like, what? Wait, what is that? Is it like a net? Or because I could see it moving, but they're somebody's like, those are drones. I was like,
wow.
News to me, you can do that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pretty sweet. I mean, it was an impressive moment.
Was it the same thing? Smells Like Teen Spirit, and or did they switch the music up?
They switched up the music. It ended with Thunderstruck again, but I'm trying to remember. It was more like a country song, and then it went to Thunderstruck.
Okay.
But I mean, it was one of those I was just like, this is impressive.
It's cool. Anybody that's ever been there, I mean, the light show is sweet, and it was a gorgeous night, gorgeous day weather-wise. So it was exciting. It was the first thing I wrote down. We got a lot to tackle here. Nebraska needed that day. They needed that kind of a win. but it was kind of an odd game. Like it ends 35-11. For all intents and purposes, it was 35-3 if we're being real about it. But it was actually kind of frustrating until late third quarter. Yeah. Like the offense really sputtered for a long stretch, but the defense was totally dominant. I don't know how it felt for you. It felt like Northern Illinois was never going to actually score a touchdown against them.
They were way worse than I predicted. Their quarterback for a 6-year guy was not good.
No.
And their receivers were really bad. So like they dropped a bunch of balls and they couldn't run it to save their life. I mean, they were not a good team.
No.
So that's a place to start with. Is I didn't, they beat Boston College.
Yeah,
who gave Florida State a run. But they were not a team that really should have threatened us at all.
No.
But I will say I know what you mean. A lot of people that I was with and were talking to after the game, we're happy we won, but we have a little bit of an odd feeling.
Well, just was an odd. I thought it was weird. It was like I don't know what this would be, like a movie that wasn't that good but had a great ending, and so you feel great about it.
Yeah, I'm
like it. I just think it was. If we're being on, the defense was awesome from start to finish. But if we're being real, and I'm going to get into this, like it was a little. It was more than a little clunky offensively until about the final drive of the third quarter.
Yeah,
and then it just like was the dam broke. And an avalanche ensued.
Yep.
And so here, just to kind of lay it out for you. So first drive of the game, 6 plays, 55 yards, great purpose, great execution. Haarberg had 4 runs. He looked good. They missed a first down himself, Marcus Washington.
And he signaled.
Who could appropriately let you know what the hell that was. It was a first down. Of course, my Twitter blew up. My cousin Scott just sent me an emoji of a hand going like that. So
every time.
It doesn't matter. So the first drive was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we'll unpack the first drive and everything else, but I just want to lay out so you had a great first drive. The next 8 offensive drives for Nebraska, 4 3-and-outs, 1 turnover, 6 punts. I thought it was pretty shaky play calling at times, and I thought the O-line had moments that were really bad.
Yeah.
So you have 2 plays and the fumble, which do you want to get in? Were you as
that play call and design? I mean, we were sitting up there like going like, what was like? It almost didn't look like it was. It couldn't have been right.
Well, it was. It looked like it was. You had the RPO play action and. You had it's whoever it was a blow.
Back.
Yeah, it was supposed to someone to come back.
I think somebody's supposed to come back,
and it looked like a blown pass pro.
Yeah.
But to me, the bigger thing is like, why the reverse on first? Like you just march down the field, and then you come out and you run a gadget play.
And they're trying to get to Tommy Hill, and somebody's going to have to sell me on Tommy Hill harder.
Boy, you ain't lying. I mean, you know me. I love him as a kickoff returner because for all the wrong reasons, but. Do they like? I don't know if they got like Tommy Hill has incriminating photos of everybody, and they're like, "You are going to design one play a game to get me the ball."
He seems like,
or I'm releasing these photos.
One of those guys that's just campaigners, like, "Hey, coach, just gotta give me the ball." Like, you know that guy that always says that.
Just give it to him, man. I'll make it happen.
Is he that guy? Because
I don't know.
They seemingly they're giving him the shot. Like, if you're a receiver, I'd be like, dude, I take all these reps all day, and you let this guy that's more of a DB come take the one. Like, he's not the guy for Colorado. So to me, like, if you're taking everybody's you're taking the touchdown reps, you're getting those reps again. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know.
No, I know.
To me, I kind of go, I don't know.
It just really seems like they're working hard to get him the ball and get him on the field.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just a little perplexing. He got caught playing peekaboo in the backfield on the big 3rd and 10 at Nebraska or at Colorado. They try the deep ball with him at Minnesota. They try the reverse here. I guess just for me, I'm like, okay, you just had a great drive and then you come out and you run the reverse, you lose a bunch of yards. Then you have the blown pass pro, strip, fumble, and now they're at the 4. But so 2 plays fumble. Let me just go through these 8 drives real quick. So 2 plays fumble, 3 and out punt, 3 and out punt. Then they go 9 plays. It ends in a punt, but they penned them inside the 5.
Yeah.
Then Nebraska forces a 3 and out. I still don't know how that punter for Northern Illinois is in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
Catches here. I'll steal your game ball for my people on YouTube. The snap comes. He drops the snap. It kind of goes. We've all had this thing where it goes a little too far between your legs. You're like, hold on. It took him a while to bend down and get the ball, and he still was able to punt it.
Well, we didn't have a force guy to his kicking leg.
Yeah.
So usually you have 2 force guys just to almost like your safety valve, make sure there's no fake. But you usually want one to his kicking side.
Right. I didn't know. I mean, I guess
because he usually would rugby to the side of his right foot.
Yeah.
So you'd want the guy there to make sure he doesn't run there. And we didn't have anybody there.
Well, it just seemed like, in those spots, you either set up for a return or go all out after it. But that was frustrating. But anyway, so they go 9 plays, punt. They pen him inside the 5. Then you have the short punt where they get great field position. 4 plays. You have the touchdown to Fedoni. We'll get into Fedoni in a second. I have some audio from a conversation with Fedoni after the game. But Nebraska had great field position on that play. Then they go 3 and out punt. Then 3 and out punt. Then they go 6 plays and punt. That was the possession in the third quarter where they ran the ball well for 5 straight plays. And they got to 3rd and 3, and they tried a little play action, and it got batted down. It's just weird. You're running the ball well, and then on 3rd and 3, you throw it. And then, those are 8 drives. Now it's late third quarter. Then the next 3 drives, the levee breaks. 14 plays, 76-yard, it ends with the Gabe Irvin touchdown, where they scored with a minute left in the third quarter. It was 14-3 with 90 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
The big play on that drive was the 3rd and 10 Alex Bullock wide receiver screen.
Yep.
There's a good check into that one. But then you have 9 plays, 65 yards. That's the Heinrich Haarberg zone read keeper touchdown. Then you have an interception by Javen Wright, sets up a short field, and Grant gets the 1 touchdown run, and now all of a sudden it's 35-3. So I wanted to lay that out just to be like, it ended 35-3, but again with a minute and a half left in the third quarter, it was 14-3, and the offense was frustrating.
Yeah.
So it was just it was a weird
I think
game offensively.
Here's why
some ways.
I think once we kind of realized what Northern Illinois was, and we go, okay, you kind of could tell, like, okay, we should be able to handle this. I think the reality set in that second quarter and part of the third, where you go, this is going to be how we lose games to good teams. Is we just can go. We're going to go into holes.
Right.
If this is our offense, like if we're really sort of undisciplined and unorganized, we were kind of like all over the place with, what the first play. That's your scripted first 15, and you got to call timeout. Some blown assignments, some just like. I don't know if the play call was incorrect or the execution was but we just didn't run the plays right. That's the stuff that we're going to lose games against good teams if that's our offense. And that's why I think it's odd. We scored 35 points, but we go, you can't win with probably that offense that we saw last night.
Yeah, and this is what's hard. I mean, I think after a win, I don't want to come on here and they did score 35 points, but I'm just also looking at it for what it was. Like, if we're being honest, it was really clunky offensively again until late in the third, and what's hard is you can sit there and go, that's what this offense is, man. They wear you down, and I'm like, were they really wearing them down? I saw a lot of they had 6 3 and outs.
That's what I mean. They weren't wearing them. That's the difference. Is, to me, I'm okay with low scoring,
right,
if you're controlling the clock and controlling the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a difference. Like, hey, like maybe we're not getting the ball in the end zone, but we're grinding clock and we're getting a couple first downs and we're sharp with what we're doing. I think we all know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Versus like what we saw. What we saw was like, I need to see more before I'm like, oh, I'm okay with feeling good about this offense.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. So I never like. It almost sounds like we're down on.
Yeah, I don't want to say
down
that.
on win.
Yeah.
But what we're doing here is we're talking about why did we kind of feel a little off about things? Because there's something that's not, we don't know yet, and there's a lot of unknown to what we're seeing.
I mean, I think it's like we all went on a date with some chick we met last night. The dinner was awkward, the food was bad, the conversation was clunky, but then you had a great makeout sesh. And you're then calling your boys like, dude, great date. And it's like, well, you had a good makeout sesh.
Got to first base.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's what was last. That was the Northern Illinois game. You ordered a steak. You had a wobbler table. It was not good. It was really awkward when you were. The conversation was not flowing well.
Oh yeah.
It just was.
She was good looking.
She was good looking, and you got to first base at the very end of the night, and so you then strut home and felt good about it. So we're just trying to tell the whole story here.
Yeah,
bad analogy.
I don't know. It's so fun that you even go there. That let's just roll with it. I don't know if it applies. But
I don't know either. Okay. It does feel like, honestly, the 3rd and 10 Alex Bullock wide receiver screen seems like the play that after that, all of a sudden it was like avalanche time.
And I would hope we're going to become a team that like wears you down, and then it will at the end of the third, fourth quarter. That's where we win games. That is the model. I think I know what you're saying though. It didn't feel like that necessarily is what happened. It's more like it was more them than us in this situation.
It just I want to paint the whole picture. So it just was it was weird. It ends 35-3, but it was just like, wow. It felt like you blinked and it went from 14-3 to 35-3 in just in a quick sequence there. So it was interesting. Let's get into what was the biggest story of the game, and that was. Can you put on your headphones for me here, pal? Because we definitely got to. We have to talk about a couple of things here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, we have to talk about a man. Hold on.
Hey. Get your hands off my hiney, baby.
I knew that was coming.
Hey. Get your hands off my hiney, baby.
Get your hands off my hiney.
Get your hands off my hiney, baby. We promised it. We got to crack. We just got to crack them open. You know what was happening?
Oh yeah.
Okay. We got to crack a few open in honor of Mr. Heine himself.
Oh, I thought you were doing this Wednesday. Oh, this is it. Okay.
Oh no, we got to celebrate it. I mean, there's nothing like a Sunday afternoon beer, I guess. I can't think of a time that maybe Monday night, but we'll Nick Nurse these a little bit. So we have 2 Heinies for 1 Heinrich Haarberg. Shouts out to Heine. Hey. Get your hands off my Heine. Let's take a sip of this here. Kearney, Nebraska, stand up. It's kind of tasting good, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
21 carries, 98 yards, and a touchdown. 14 of 24, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he had 256 total yards of offense, 3 touchdowns. He did have 1 fumble. I don't want to.
Not on him.
It doesn't seem like it's on him. I mean, that was like.
That was one where there was a play call or somebody executed. I mean, there was something that went wrong there, but. Yeah, for the most part, he took care of the ball.
That's the big thing. I thought he was solid. The big thing that everybody was looking for was don't turn the ball over. And he didn't do that. Now, I also wouldn't say that he didn't turn the ball over. There was 1 interception that he was very fortunate got dropped by a backer for Northern Illinois. I didn't necessarily get the feel like he was really avoiding any, like he was still pushing the ball down the field and he wasn't being super conservative.
Yeah.
But overall, what'd you think? Like, I thought he was solid, ran the ball pretty well. Curious what you thought.
I thought he did a for his first game ever, I thought he did a very good job.
Yep.
I'll give them credit. I think the right thing you do with young quarterbacks that are kind of a dual threat guys is you run them early and get them settled down, because running the ball settles you down.
Yes.
You go take a few hits, you make a few runs, it knocks the nerves out of you, sort of. So like that was good to get those runs in that first drive. And I think Heine did a good job. Just like he did what he needed to do. He ran hard. He would run it up in there, and he was running over people. And I think those little 4-yard QB keepers made a difference throughout the game. It might be little things, but like he always was going up the field, getting yards. And when he threw it, for the most part, he's pretty darn careful. He delivered the ball when, where he had the chance to, and you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, he ran the ball. I'm with you. I love that there was a concerted effort to run him. First play of the game was a pure option.
Yeah.
They looked like they ran more zone read type stuff for him, RPO stuff for him to be able to run it. He is physical. If anything, if he's going to be the starter moving forward, you don't want to tell him to back off. He's trying to run dudes over.
He was just running at people. He really was.
He's a big physical guy. I think there are a couple times he left yards out there. Sometimes he danced too much and just needed to get up the field. I thought when he was at his best was when they were making a concerted effort to try and run him, whether it's quarterback powers, different things like that.
21 carries.
21 carries.
Yeah.
The passing, there are a lot of sidearm stuff. So he's got different, which was interesting. Some of the stuff he had to, the touchdown to Billy Kemp, he kind of had to sidearm it. The thing I really like is that he clearly finds Fidone.
Yeah.
He likes Fidone. And I think Fidone's a guy, not just because of how I feel about him. I think when you look at this team, they need to get him going.
Yeah, I would say that's a good point, and just in the sense of, as a broad takeaway, is we sort of lack overall high-end talent on this team. There's no stars. There's no, dudes out there man, look at that guy. And you kind of, the guys you can't take your eyes off of, kind of. And Fidone's a guy that at least is say he's an above average talent, and we can't afford not to use the heck out of him, actually.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, certain quarterbacks and certain guys maybe have a better connection or a better understanding with each other, and
that's real.
Yeah, and those guys, they've been around each other for a couple
roommates.
Of years. Yeah, it was like Westerkamp and Tommy Armstrong.
Yeah.
He was going to Westerkamp, always. 3rd and long, you don't have to guard anybody else. Guard Westerkamp, right? So my guess is that with him and Fidone, it's the unwritten rule with you and your buddy, okay, call the play, and you look at each other oh, it's going to you. Because you know why? Because we're going to be sitting up in our apartment later, and you're going to be why didn't you throw me the ball, man? So that is the ultimate,
Because he made a hell of a catch down the sideline.
Yeah.
Fidone did. The one touchdown was a nice play call. Fidone slipped on out of there. I think he finished with 4 catches. Had a touchdown.
Yep.
I just I liked that part of it. I did think it was interesting. Can you throw on your headphones one more time? I don't know if anybody saw this. There's a lot of audio you hear after the game. Yeah. I don't think anybody heard this audio captured. This was a surprise to Thomas Fidone after the game. The cameras were rolling, and this was good to hear.
It's my great honor to tell you that you're going to be the 328th Hall of Famer into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and your legacy is going to be in Canton, Ohio, forever. Congratulations.
Okay. I don't care if no one else thinks that's funny. I think it's really funny.
Do you have when he says his long spiel?
No, but you can watch it. I just took it. It's people know this is the big guy surprising Jimmy Johnson.
Yes.
Here we go again.
Let me see it.
It's my great honor to tell you that you're going to be the 328th Hall of Famer. Pro Football Hall of Fame. And your legacy is going to be in Canton, Ohio, forever. Congratulations.
I don't care what anybody says. I think think
I love the big guy.
I love the big guy, and I love the fact that we're Team Fedoni.
Yeah.
No one else can claim he is our guy. Okay, we have claimed Fedoni. We said he's going to Canton, and you're telling me after last night he's not going to Canton. I have audio that he got the call last night.
There's a chance he got that call for real.
There's a chance as he was walking out of the stadium, the big guy stopped him.
It's funny. I literally he scored and go, oh, here, Nick is going to be losing his mind here.
you said
Me
it
and
to
Bear.
Bear?
Oh yeah. I mean,
I love
here we
Fedoni.
go.
I think. Let me think for a second. I think he's my favorite player on the team.
Is he?
I think so. There's also some nostalgia. He wears 24. That was Richie Baugh's number, my dad's number at Nebraska. So I watched that. I watched 24 in the red and the white, and I love how that looks. He's my favorite player on the team, I think.
Hey, there you go. Well, he's on his way. I mean, that's a great omen for him. For me, like, he's gotten 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games. He's getting the ball. He's making catches. I was worried because I can say this now. I thought I had this hunch he was going to be like a jinxed guy.
Yeah.
But now he's like, I feel like he's over the jinx. It's over. And now he can just go play ball. And now he can be confident. Now he can get better and like let some of the, like, he's got the limbs and the length and the hand. Like,
yes,
that's the stuff that he's got that now I just think it's like he's got to clean up his route running, get crisp there. But like he's got the length and the, like he can
the raw, and I just think for how I think, and we'll get into like the formula for how this team wins. It screams Fedoni to me. For whatever
and boa constrictor,
which is unfortunate we didn't get any boa constrictor list. It's hard. Fedoni's my favorite team, but the other tight end has my favorite nickname, so it's a hard. Actually that's a good. I can't lose.
Take them together.
I can't lose. Fedoni scores. I'm happy. Boa constrictor does anything. I'm happy. But I think the formula of this team obviously is run the ball, control the clock, run the quarterback, play action, hit the tight end. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm loving the trajectory of Fedoni. I think clearly Haarberg and him have a contract with each other of like, you're throwing the ball to me, you look for me.
I didn't know they were roommates. That's a great.
Yeah, they're roommates. It's like they're brushing their teeth together. Like, good pass on the third down. That's what it is.
Are you still up?
Hey, you going to Canton? Are you up?
I think so. That big guy. I saw him.
Who was that guy? Hey, Thomas, who was that guy?
He's big. Guy's really big, isn't he?
Who was that guy? And why were you crying?
He looks like he's got big hands.
That's so stupid. Okay, I don't care. I have laughed every time ever since I clipped that out. I have laughed every time I listen to that guy. The idea that Fedoni is going to Canton is fantastic, but I love the guy. So, okay, the big question coming out of that game now is what happens at quarterback? Did hey, keep your hands off my hiney? Is it now, hey, keep your hands off my starting position?
It is a hey, we got a quarterback controversy.
Yes.
In my opinion, the controversy has started. I mean, he won a game. He didn't really have any egregious turnovers. He won a game.
He won, and all I will say, for as much as we just talked about how the offense was kind of clunky for a long stretch, the best the offense has looked was with him at quarterback. But the hard part is this. You do got to take into consideration the opponent.
That's right.
And where you were at. Sims, 2 road games, 1 at Minnesota, established Big Ten program, the other at Colorado, rival and the biggest story in all of sports. You got caught in the Coach Prime hurricane.
Yeah.
Whereas Heine is at home opener, 68 degrees, sunny, good vibes, and a Northern Illinois team that I thought was really average.
Yeah.
Because the thing I was thinking about is we laid out those 8 after the opening drive. They had 8 drives where it was really not good.
Yep.
If you're playing a real team, those 8 drives probably doom you.
That's sort of what happened. I mean, I guess. I don't know. It's hard because we had the turnovers are just, it's hard to even compare them because of the turnovers.
Exactly.
But that to me felt like that stretch is how we typically lost bad games in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
In the Big Ten, when we go cold for, call it a quarter and a half to 2 quarters, which we did a lot, it felt like that's how we would lose. Like we'd lose in that stretch, and then because we'd be playing catch up the rest of the game, and that was never our strength.
Right.
And so
Agree.
like, I just don't know, man. Like, so it's hard to judge, but I will say Sims is probably a better runner. Sims has played more football, but Sims played so bad and his turnovers were so egregious that he's sort of lost the benefit of the doubt with that. Like he could, if he would have played a little bit better, we probably would have said, well, it's back to Sims until Haarberg or until he messes up and Haarberg will be ready. But Sims played so bad that even though I think in the end Sims is maybe a better player, I think
you're not ready to.
I just don't know.
That's where I'm at.
I don't know that you can't say Sims, if you're coming back, who's ever the best guy in practice this week. Like it's almost that. Like,
yes.
I don't know that you give the keys to Haarberg yet because Sims obviously like it was a pretty short sample size, but you're not giving Sims a leash here. It's so short.
Yeah. It is so. You're right. He's Sims. Any way you want to slice it, in my opinion, you can kind of peg Jeff Sims on the first two games. Sims kind of lost both those games.
Yeah.
And this isn't a 2-game sample size. Yes, it's a 2-game sample size at Nebraska, but it's not like he doesn't show up with a history of turnovers.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's necessarily obvious, like it is Haarberg, here's the keys, you go, you're the guy. But Haarberg didn't turn the ball over.
No.
And I don't know. I think Nebraska maybe needs more of a game manager over any supposed upside of Sims. I also wonder if Sims seduces Satterfield and Rule into maybe trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Like Haarberg, they can kind of like, I think with Haarberg, they feel like they got to pare things down, where Sims is like, yeah, call that play. I'll find him. Third and long, no problem, big boy. 3rd and 13 in the shadow of my own end zone. I do this all the time. It's like, yeah. Call that play. Go for it. Is that not true? Is that not?
That's just terrible. Oh my God. No, here's what I'll tell you. Oh my God. I don't even know this.
I just know what I'm trying to say is.
I don't know.
What I'm trying to say is.
They simplified the offense.
They simplified the offense more with Haarberg, where Sims is just maybe a little older, maybe has a little bit more experience on him, that it gives you this illusion that, you can call that play. Yeah, we can go for it there. Yeah, we can do that. And it's like, ooh, I don't know. Can you? And is that in the best interest of the situation?
Because here's one of my big takeaways on the night was like, if you want to talk about like ice cream flavors, like this was the most vanilla of vanilla you're going to get. Like we were vanilla in everything. You know, how much time left in that second quarter where we had the ball where like you knew it was going to be quarterback draw. Like it was extremely conservative. And I thought to myself, that's maybe too conservative, but that's the idea when you are managing a game with a quarterback that is new, that you like, you know, maybe Jeff Sims, they let him throw.
Yes.
Or like against Colorado where he then ran out of bounds.
Yes. They literally tried to push the ball down the field. He throws the pick. Yeah. And then he ran out of bounds at the end of the, yes.
Yeah. And it costs you points, you know, like where that was a situation where we said, yeah, it'd been nice to score and get the ball back, but we said, let's be really conservative, run the clock, run the ball, take no chances, punt it away, get to the second half. That's vanilla, that's conservative, but really I think that's the only difference between us winning this game and those other games. Like we weren't that much better. We were just a little bit more careful with the ball. I think that's the only difference.
Yes.
And we won that game easily then.
And I think some of that is just Sims versus Haarberg. And I also think some of that maybe is a little bit on certain play calling and getting aggressive with certain things. And I think regardless of who's at quarterback moving forward, if you're Satterfield, I would open up the vanilla conservative, let's go 5 miles underneath the speed limit kind of offense.
I think Satterfield, this is his first year. There's a new team, but I think there's a part of him that was trying to do a lot of different things that first 2 games. Like he was a lot of different styles almost. And to me, for whatever reason, Jeff Sims did not have command of all those styles. It was almost too much. It was like too many different types of things. Not like it's like too complicated for him, but like when you're either like, hey, we're under center or we're shotgun or we're motion or we're we're option. We're, like we were like doing everything.
Yes.
And we were doing nothing well. And I feel like that is what they simplified a little bit more with Heine, and they played more conservative. And I think that's probably what they needed to do with Sims.
That's what
that's
couldn't
where
agree
I'm
more.
like, okay, maybe this is a little bit on Satterfield to be like, you need to really control the situation better.
I agree.
Organize better. They're not organized well enough on offense.
No, they're not.
Their offense looks. It's always like they don't know what they're doing.
They have had to call 2 timeouts a game because they're going to get a delay of game because they're not organized with who's in the game. Yes. The play comes in late. They don't they got to tighten all that up. And Satterfield, I'm totally with you. There's a little bit of like a pick a play, almost like a hot dog ice cold beer.
Yeah.
Here, get your plays here. Get your plays here.
I'll take one. Can I have an option?
Shotgun
reverse?
offense. Get your plays here.
Reverse over here.
Got a reverse hot call reverse here. Got a pro style offense. Pick a play. Need a play here.
Reverse throwback pass. Garbage play to Bullock. Yeah, I'll take one.
Set it down here.
Yeah,
pass it down.
I'll put the money in the hot dog bun and he'll pass it back down to you.
I mean, basically, Satterfield, the vendors walking Memorial Stadium are selling plays. Satterfield's like, I'll take one.
Satterfield's buying everything.
He's buying every play that they're selling out there. There's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of pick a play going on. And when the offense looked the best, whether it was the first drive, there was purpose.
Yeah.
Like you could see what the purpose and plan was and what they're trying to establish and then work off of that. When the levee broke, I thought it had a little bit more purpose to what they were doing. Commit to the RPO stuff, commit to the bootleg stuff, commit to running the quarterback.
Yeah.
Period. And so I do think that while some of this is Sims, some of this also watching last night, like I do think Satterfield's got to be a little bit tighter with how he's calling the game here.
Yeah, I think that those 2 ththings go hand in hand because there is a big disparity right now between discrepancy.
What are you disparaging? Are you throwing disparaging remarks?
Jeopardy. I'll take disparaging for 100.
You're going for discrepancy.
Yeah, there's a big discrepancy.
Do you want me to do my seducing Marcus Satterfield?
Just do that, and I'll think
No.
I'll Google discrepancy and disparity, and you do some more seducing.
Go ahead, big boy. Okay. Oh yeah, no problem.
Disparity.
All right, continue. Discrepancy.
So there's a discrepancy right now between the offense. The defense looks like they are clean, they're dialed in, and the offense looks like they are definitely have a first-year coordinator and a first-year quarterback, and it's equal on both sides of the ball. But it just to me seems like whatever they're doing on the defense, I'm going to give them a lot more credit because the offense looks like they're in a different universe.
I totally agree. It will be interesting. Rule's comments throughout this last week leading up to this Northern Illinois game seem to suggest that Sims is the guy, and like almost like once Sims is healthy, he's going to be the starter again. But I don't know. I don't know if it automatically is like that.
My assumption, if I had to assume I think Rule is with Sims right now.
That's my read on it.
And it's going to take one more Jeff Sims terrible game before he's out. I think that would be my guess. If I was a betting man, I would bet that.
Okay.
Right? Now, What's the right thing to do? That's a whole nother story. But that's what I would bet Rule's going to do.
The
Sims
read
is the guy again until he proves he cannot handle it.
I agree. That's my read on what he thinks. We'll tell you what we think coming up next.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. But first, got to tell you about Onyx Automotive. They are our title sponsor for these game recap pods. They're the best of Omaha, #1 luxury car dealer. They offer industry-leading brands, BMW, Jaguar, Land Rover. I've told you the Range Rover dream car. I was on the website looking at some BMW SUVs as well. Those things look smooth as can be. There's nothing quite like feeling good in the car you're driving, trusting it, and showing up in style. And that's what Onyx Automotive is all about. Again, they got a great location, 150th and Dodge. You can't miss it. Check them out online, onyxautomotive.com. They got tons of information, prices, new and used, all the different vehicles there. You can peruse the internet on the website and check it out. That's onyxautomotive.com. They're the title sponsor. Support those that support us. Drive Onyx, the new standard. And this pod is also brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. When you are trying to get some windows into your house or new windows, whatever, everybody's confused, right? Everybody is like Nebraska on the first play of the game. They need to call timeout. They need to figure out what's going on. The best way to call a window timeout is to go to the showroom. There are two options. You go to the showroom, Omaha or Lincoln. You can actually feel the window, feel the door, open it, close it, get a better sense of exactly what is going into your home. Or the other timeout is to just call a Pella expert to come out to your home, and they're going to be able to put together a game plan for you to fit your budget, your wants, and your needs. Pella makes the whole process easy. Trust me, I have been going through it. Debbie has come out to the house. Her and my wife Kim are like best friends. She is fantastic. Everywhere there is great. Check them out online, PellaOmaha.com. That's PellaOmaha.com. And make sure you go to shoot360.com/Lincoln. We are opening in like 4 weeks. October 14th, grand opening. It's the world's most advanced basketball training facility. It's coming to Lincoln. It's a national franchise. Shoot 360 is. It's got some big-time investors. Trae Young. Again, you got this type of technology in 26 NBA different facilities, but it can be used and pared down to players of all ages and skill levels. You can go in there and get your reps, man. Repetition is the key to learning, and that's what the model is solely based on. Basketball is a game of skill. It's about how good you can shoot, pass, dribble. Shoot 360 is going to get you better, faster in those areas with their unbelievable technology and the facilities that they can provide. I'm telling you, I'm the owner. My brother's the owner. We have hired a rock star team. Lincoln basketball community is going to be fired up. So go to shoot360.com/Lincoln to become a member today. All right, Robert Roode. We said what we think Matt Rule is going to do, and I am with you. How would you approach this? Haarberg, Sims.
Is Jeff Sims healthy for this week? Are we assuming he is Jeff Sims? Because here's what I say. If he's not Jeff Sims this week, if he's hobbled Sims, I think if your Rule, that's your excuse to give Heine his second dress rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And gets a backup quarterback even more prepared.
Right.
Gives Jeff Sims one more week to chill.
Yes.
Watch. Maybe reevaluate how you take care of the ball. But I think for me, if your Rule right now, he's got an inkling. He's like, is Haarberg as good as Sims? Maybe not. But he's won a game. Sometimes winning, momentum, those things are real. And if it's not clear, you go with the guy that's winning and has got the momentum.
I'm sure you have guys that you played with. Like sometimes it's not always just about who's more talented.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not what it's actually about. Sometimes for certain situations, you need a certain kind of a player, or for whatever reason, a certain guy out there, everything just works a little better with them out there. I don't know if that's the situation with Haarberg. My inclination is, I think how you're laying it out is right. I think Sims might be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But man, you just won a game. He didn't have any egregious turnovers. The one fumble was, to me, not on him. I don't think there's a huge difference between the two. And I would lean, especially if Sims is still hobbled. This is a perfect opportunity to be like, because what you don't want to do is throw a 75% Sims out there, right? Because what Sims does best is run. you want a fully healthy Sims. So this is a good opportunity to throw Heine back out there if you can. I just look at here's how I see the entire situation. I would probably keep Haarberg the guy, but understand that there isn't that huge of a difference. And the big thing is they're both similar enough in skill sets, body types, what the playbook would offer with both of them out there. I think you look at it like we're too deep at quarterback. You know where this offense is at its best? When we're hammering the quarterback run game. This allows us to free ourselves up of being like, man, keep running this guy, he's going to get hurt. Well, I don't think you got to worry about that as much anymore because you got two guys for the price of one, for lack of a better term, at that running back spot or at that quarterback spot. I kind of don't think either guy is special enough that you got to cater to them or worry about them too much.
Yeah.
Like, come on. We're not dealing with a Heisman Trophy caliber quarterback here.
No.
These are two game manager running quarterbacks where the new approach to offense is vanilla, glass of ice water, please, and I'll take a salad with no dressing. That's the kind of...
But it's easier to do that if you are a quarterback run team.
Exactly.
Right? So that's where I actually love what you said about that. I think I lean towards what you're saying is like, let's just give Haarberg the go. Sims is a little nicked. Run him, win a game, run him, win a game, and then if we need to adjust, we have Sims, we're going to run him. I mean, I think we run them both. This is going to be an offense where we need these two guys to run 10 to 20 times a game.
That's exactly my...
And
that's what I think
win.
it is.
I think we can win if we play great defense and special teams and run these quarterbacks because we don't got the receivers to scare anybody. Tight ends are pretty good, but they're still learning how to play.
Fidoni's still young, and boa constrictor is a boa constrictor.
He's strangling mice.
He's strangling various prey at times.
And, you know, I think we got – I do want to touch on running backs
I wrote that down.
But, you know, I think we're going to still need to manufacture offense through the quarterback run game this whole year.
And so to me, it kind of sets – to me, it's like – as I was drinking coffee and writing stuff down this morning, I'm like, yeah, that to me, it's like, listen, ain't none of, not to be too, I mean, I'm drinking a Heine in honor of my man, Heine. Hey, get your hands up by Heine. But none of y'all are that special for me to worry about.
No, there's no feelings.
There's
anymore.
no feelings
We're done
here.
With feelings.
We're done.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing you and I like done saving people or worrying about how people feel. To me,
game,
I look at it. I'm like, you got. It's kind of like. Who would it have been? Like LP and Amon Green. You know, you have like two. You got two running backs. You know, you feel good about either one. When one guy's in, here we go. When the other guy's in, here we go. Yeah. That's how I feel at the quarterback spot. I don't think either of them are very good right now.
Yeah.
I think they both are pretty. Like they could be pretty special runners. So. In my opinion, you got two QBs. You're running them 15 to 20 times a game. If one of them gets dinged up, you bring in the next guy. You keep things simple. You control the clock. You then try to be a little conservative with the football. Hold on to it.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Yeah.
I don't think this has to be some like. You know, The Bachelor, we're handing a rose to Heine or to Sims, and it's like you know,
Sims, you have to get in the limo and leave now.
Yes, like you have to. No, we don't. It doesn't need to be that.
Gone. Like,
it's not like Rule and then Heine are like looking at the sunset, like as they're getting ready to make out or anything.
Right
like
now,
that. It's
Jeff Sims the only one with the rose, and I think give Heine the rose too.
Oh, I would
give them both roses.
Give them both a rose. You know, so that's how. So we'll talk about the defense in a second, but because we're kind of talking about like. To me, the formula is very obvious for this team. This is not, let me preface this, and it's like sometimes you got to like, stuff you have to preface is like stupid. This is not the 2009 defense. We all know that, okay? But I think the approach to this season, you need to have the 2009 formula, where you're a defensive-led team. That's the strength of this team. give the defense a chance to keep you in the game and win the game for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you break out the Zach Lee type of offense of conservative, but the difference is you can run. You weren't running Lee. You can run Heine and Sims. But to me, the formula is obvious. Give your defense a chance to win the game for you. Offensively, conservative, run the quarterback, control the clock, play action, hit the tight ends. Try to control the game in that regard, and give the defense a chance to win the game. Like that. That's the formula that I see with this team.
That would be wonderful. I would love to see if this defense could ever elevate, because the real elevation for a defense is when you like start quote unquote winning the game, right? Like, remember those Iowa teams the last, a couple years ago that like they would score 2 times, or they would, like that is when you like really win the game.
Right.
Now, what we're doing right now is basically like you're giving your offense every chance to win a game. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Which is that's really what you want.
Yeah. So I say I'm giving your defense a chance to win the game. I guess when I'm like,
you're giving your defense gives your offense, like what we're doing right now is giving our offense a chance to win the game, and our offense finally did last night, but the 2 games before they wouldn't do it. Right. And the 2009 team, they were just winning the game almost by themselves. Like every game they gave the offense a chance to win, and some games they won the game, right? So that's like elite defenses win the game. 2000 Ravens, 2002 Bucks, elite. They won the games, right? Those kind of teams are the most special. I mean, we need to be real slow before we even talk about that with this defense.
No, that's right.
This defense, I want to see, can they be more like the 2021 Nebraska team that really gave our offense every chance to win every game? They played Ohio State, they played, Michigan State,
Oklahoma,
Michigan, all those teams they played where they gave the offense a chance to win against really good Big Ten teams.
Right. And so that's where I'm not saying, I don't even know is this a top 10 defense? I probably lean towards no. Is it a top 20 defense? Maybe. I don't know, top 20, top 25 type defense. But I just think given the makeup of this team, they're going to have to lead the charge. And,
they are.
And
yes.
so that's how I see the formula for this crew. And I just think the quarterback situation, just you kind of I think you got 2 quarterbacks. The beauty of it is that like it's not like it's Sims and Chubba or something like that, where like you can't, the playbook changes a little bit. Like you literally have 2 dudes that are like big, physical. You can run quarterback powers.
6'4", 200.
Yeah,
220 pounds each.
Just so the playbook, so that's the beauty. The playbook stays the same. The game plan stays the same, whether Sims or Heine's out there, and that's how you approach it. The defense, man, like it is. I echoed Matt Rule after the game. It was so interesting. They asked him, I think it might have been Sip asked him about like who he thought played well. And Rule's like, I don't even know. I can't even say who's really playing well individually, because it seems like throughout the course of a game, like 30 different guys.
They all play, which I actually like don't like, but they're doing it somewhat well. Like I'm surprised you can play that many guys on defense.
Crazy.
Like they rotate all the linebackers. They rotate like the secondary, which I'm like, I'm kind of against that myself.
Me too, but
they're doing it, which is going to pay off down the road. If you can keep doing that, you're a healthier team. You get way more guys experience and reps. Like it's good if you can do it. I always thought like, one, as a player, I don't want to come out, but 2, it's like usually there's a drop off. Usually when the backups come in, it's like, oh, here we go.
Right.
Or the the reserves on the D line, it's like now they can run it. Like that's typically how I think. But so far so good with
it's bizarre though, where every play that happens as the pile's like coming off, you're like, who's that? I don't know who that is. Oh wait, he's in the game. What happened to? It's insane.
But here's what I'm going to give this coordinator a lot of credit.
Oh, Tony White, boy.
He has done an awesome job these first 3 games. Like his guys, this is what I look at. Like they're pretty sound. This defense is, it's kind of, but people are in their gaps. They're in their leverages. They're making tackles.
Yep.
And one of my favorite things, we are running to the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, some teams don't actually do that well. I believe it'll save you a couple big plays throughout the season. You know, maybe like one or two a game where just like effort and consistent, like good angles, chasing pursuit to the ball will clean up the mistakes that you might make.
Yeah.
So I actually are seeing us run to the ball pretty good.
No doubt. They rally to the ball. You have not seen, outside of the one, I think you called it a cover 4 beater or whatever, the one touchdown that Colorado threw, if you want to call that a bust, I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of busts.
It's been good.
So far, the biggest thing that's just been amazing is how you cannot run on this team. Like, through 3 games, right now, the defense is at 80 rushes against them. They've given up 139 yards rushing in 3 games. They're giving up 1.7 yards per carry with their rush defense. Like, that'll do.
I mean, that's amazing. I'm trying not to be too buy into it too much, because the teams we've played haven't been that great. And like Colorado wants to only throw. They couldn't really run. This team couldn't do anything. Minnesota's a pretty good running team, and
shut them down.
So
you didn't like the Rocky Lombardi sack where nobody touched him?
Oh, I mean, that's just like that got a bad day.
No, but okay, so you were talking about the rush defense is
I'm a wait and see, just because we're playing a lot of dudes and it's gone well, but like I'm a wait and see. Before I crown people, I really got to see,
because it is amazing. I mean, last night, Northern Illinois finished with 149 yards of total offense. 75 came on the last drive.
They didn't do anything.
So I mean, this was a shutdown of all shutdowns.
It was.
And the thing that's cool, or I thought was kind of cool, is, this is where I admire that there isn't really like any ego with Rule, where Rule did, I'm not sure if I was listening to it live, Rule did shout out the previous defensive staff. Like, as much as he was like praising Tony White, but he was just like, he in answering a question about the play on the defense, he praised the former coaching staff for getting many of these players ready to go. He mentioned Chenander, he mentioned Bill Bush, he mentioned Mike Dawson, and he mentioned Bahe Ruud by name, saying that those guys, those coaches did a good job with these players. So that's, I think, cool, but I also think it's true. Like, and Sam McEwen has talked about this, the culture on that side of the ball was way better in the previous regime than the culture on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah. I think we saw that really, like, over the defense kept getting incrementally better under Chenander and those guys. And so I do think that has helped, but boy, that's in no way, shape, or form to take away from anything that Tony White has done, because this has been really cool.
Tony White's doing a great job. It's seeing that 3-3-5 in the Big Ten is going to be, it's going to be fun. I mean, we saw against Minnesota, which it worked well, but like, we're going to get Illinois, we're going to get Michigan, this is going to be a stretch run of like, okay, let's see what this thing got, because it's been great so far.
I'm not sure if I'll send it to you. There was a nice little film breakdown of Urban Meyer and Jerry DiNardo breaking down the Tony White 3-3-5, and Urban Meyer had some glowing praises about. Urban said this was the kind of defense, I think the word he used was like, when I knew we were going to go against a 3-3-5, I would just shudder.
Yeah.
He said what's good about it is the blitz combinations that you can have, and he talked about the ability to drop 8 into coverage, not just 7, be able to drop 8 into coverage. And he brought up different times showed against Colorado where they brought various blitz packages and times that they dropped all 8 back. And so, I was very, very skeptical of the 3-3-5. So far through 3 games, this has been, you can't.
We look sound.
Yes.
I mean, I think the thing we were worried about is like, is it just going to be chaos, but then you give up big plays?
Right.
And I just feel like we've looked sound.
Yes. Again, there's just, like you said, there's not a lot of busts. Guys are in their gaps. Guys are rallying to the ball. The guys are making open field tackles. They're playing physical. Like, it's just, it's hard to find a lot of anything that the only thing I guess is just, now they finally, Newsome was close to having the 1 pick. Javen Wright was able to get an interception, so at least they were able to force a turnover. That's kind of the next step to this thing.
Yeah.
So the defense just, man, pretty impressive so far.
Yeah, very good. That's if there's anything the Husker Nation should be like feeling good about. They should feel good about our defense.
Yes,
and that's at least a foundation that we can really build off of and build a program off of. If we can just continue to play like that.
Couple more things, and we'll wrap this thing up right at about an hour. Look at us. We are just like efficient right now.
That's right.
So, I know that you and I just picked out furniture for our beachfront property on Gabe Irvin Island. We just picked out end tables, a great sectional couch.
It's a beautiful island.
It's great.
Nick, it's a good island.
It's a gorgeous island.
It's a good island.
We're sunset facing on our deck. It's just tremendous. But is Anthony Grant better than Gabe Irvin? Just strip it. I want you to just don't preface it. Don't just straight up. Is Anthony Grant better than Gabe?
Ball in his hand. Anthony Grant is a better runner. Like he's got more juice. He's explosive. Like he's more explosive. So I've gotten a three game sample of Gabe Irvin. I want more Gabe Irvin. I want to keep watching him. Right. I want him. He needs to get the ball, but I think yesterday, just seeing Grant move, I went, he's our most dangerous running back. He's probably our best natural runner.
I agree.
The ball. More explosive. Now Irvin's like probably a more complete player in the sense of like he does all the right things. You can put him in short yardage.
He is big and he's big. Yeah.
He reads blocks real well. He's good out of the eye formation. He played that in high school, and I think he's good there. But I think I think Grant's upside is more, right? So Grant's got more juice. I just thought he's got more juice. And so there's nothing against Gabe Irvin. I think they're both gonna play, but it reminded me watching Grant, he needs to be on the field.
Yes.
We don't have playmakers anywhere else, so you can't not play Anthony Grant and give him the rock. He needs to get the rock as much as Irvin or more.
That's such a good point.
Irvin needs to be the complement to Grant too, or vice versa, whatever. We need two good players, but Grant's got the juice, and I need to see Irvin actually get the ball because he never could get the ball for games, and he's got the ball. He's a good player. I think he'll help us win. I mean, around the goal line does a great job, but Anthony Grant is more dangerous out in the open.
That was one of the two takeaways I had yesterday watching the game was I think just pure ball in hand. You're just go run it. Grant's more talented.
Yeah.
And I also think there can't ever be another game where Grant doesn't see the field. He for an offense that is so void of truly dynamic playmakers, you can't have one of your best sitting on the sideline. You just can't.
Yeah, and so Gabe, I think Gabe is he's a nice player, and we need to continue to feed him, let him do his thing. He'll help us win. Anthony Grant is probably the only guy in offense that can break something. Like, remember against Rutgers where he stoned the dude, changed the whole game?
He stoned a guy last night. Did you see on the one? He bounced it and missiled a dude.
I missed the missile.
You missed. It was similar. I mean, the NIU guy might have gotten KO'd.
Yeah. And so Grant's got that juice that he looked fresh last night too. I was like, God, he looks good right now.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that doesn't mean that buying property on Gabe Irvin Island was a good investment. It was a good investment. I mean, they did sell it to us for a better price than I would have imagined. Why did they do that? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But I think the reality is I need to see Irvin really play. And I haven't got to really see him play.
Yeah, we're still getting to know him a little bit.
I like Gabe Irvin. I just now seeing both of them, I go, it is what it is. This guy's got the extra juice. He's got the extra gear. Irvin's going to be a solid player for us, but we need Anthony Grant too.
I agree.
It's not either or. It's. I mean, it's a
need them both. We need them both. Just like I think maybe as the season progresses, you're going to need both Sims and Heine. I think you're going to need Grant. Like they need to get a 4-bedroom apartment, the 4 of them, and it's just like they're splitting groceries 4 ways. They're splitting utilities 4 ways.
Heine. Do you think you could call that screen pass for me tomorrow? Go to bed, Anthony.
Go to bed, AG. All right, enough of you. Okay, Heine.
Just one more thing.
I'm not gonna lie. These Heinies aren't bad.
Hey,
2 more things. We're out of here.
Yeah.
One, you missed because you were at the game. You didn't see it on TV. But can I real quick? I want to read a tweet from Ben Eisenhart, our buddy Ben.
Oh wow, I saw him yesterday. Actually,
did you?
Yeah.
He tweets, "The most overrated player of all time is Bo Ruud. I hate him." No, he tweets.
I almost was like, wow.
No. He tweeted that I loved it. He tweeted, "It's 2023 and we are still fielding punts inside the 5-yard line. It's absolutely insane to me." Billy Kemp,
Nick,
what are you doing?
And Billy Kemp had a bad game all day.
Yes,
too. He did that. He dropped a pass. He wasn't out there in the first play.
He was the problem on the. I mean, it's the first play of the game.
So, but that to me shows me maybe you're not ready to play today.
Yes,
like if you're catching balls inside the 5, you're not locked. You're not dialed into like.
Totally agree.
You're just like, oh, I'm out here just not thinking.
First play of the game, they got to call a timeout because you don't know you're out there and you're the starting slot. Like that again. That
him or Satterfield. I mean,
what were they doing? Sims was whispering sweet nothings. Like, when I get back out there, you know what you're gonna do, right?
Just go.
You're gonna motion, yeah. You're gonna motion the slot receiver.
Nick. That's not how seducing works. I don't think that's not. I know you're talking about seducing, but that's seducing.
All right, I need to stop that. I need to stop that. Oh my God.
So terrible.
Maybe I think he was.
I think your daughter's gonna be like 21 years old. And she's gonna listen to your old pod and be like,
"Sorry,
what is
I'm
wrong
sorry. No, we'll burn the tape. Burn this tape. Okay, burn it." I think Sims was seducing Billy Kemp and Satterfield, and that's why they were. Satterfield was like, "Oh crap, we're on," and Billy Kemp didn't know he was out there. But to Ben Eisenhart's tweet though, Billy Kemp, what are you doing? Stop. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this. Whether it's Cam Taylor, Britt, or whoever, like, guys, heels on the 10. If you have to step back, don't catch it.
Yeah, I mean,
like, stop it, because it does get annoying how, to make excuses for the offense. Does it not feel like every drive starts with terrible field position?
Yeah, I mean, even on like kickoff returns, like if you're really good, return it every time. If you're not really good, if you catch it going sideways, if you catch it going, backwards in the end zone or whatever, like if you're not really good and if you're not like catching it in a position where your blockers are lined up right, everything should be a fair catch or take a knee in the end zone type of thing because you get the ball on the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
And nobody, I mean, getting to 25 is like a decent return. So, like, you got to work hard to get to 25. Take the free 25 unless you're really good, which I'm not so sure we are.
No.
I mean, Ramir, I'm not against Ramir taking out if he's got like a good, but you got to be like catching it ready.
Like,
not like
can't be that like, that catch and like gather yourself, then go.
So like he caught it going sideways once. His blockers weren't in place, and he tried to like run back, and he gets tackled at the 15. It's like you just gave up 10 yards because you weren't just know the situation.
Rule did say at the start of the year that he doesn't believe in fair catching kickoffs and that the game is meant to be played. So some of this could be like they have a rule. Rule has a rule that
I just don't. I mean, that's a hard line rule. It's like,
why do that?
Use the rules better. Like, if it's gonna be in the end zone, fair catch. If it's gonna be you're catching it awkwardly, fair catch.
Right.
Whatever. Like, take the 25.
I'm with you. Yeah. And then Billy Kemp. I mean, for the love of God, like, stop catching punts. It like Ben's tweet. It's 2023, and we're still fielding punts inside the 5-yard line.
It's amazing how many people do that.
I don't know.
Or even 8. I don't even care if it's the fucking 8. Like,
Yeah.
just like,
yes, do not. Yeah. Like, whether it's the 5 or the 4.
You're going up. Like,
just force, because you know that ball. Yes, it might be a Tiger Woods wedge that sticks, and but it might be a hit and make them make a play.
Especially
down
when the ball was like really going like it would. I mean, it would have bounced.
Or do the thing where the returner runs to the side and acts like the ball's there and it's on the other side. Like, like, I don't know. Billy Kemp had a rough day yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
He caught a TD though from Heine. Heine hit his ass with the slide. That was nice.
That was a good play call, but it was like one of those typical plays where you're like, okay, Billy Kemp's offset up in the backfield. Like, I wonder who it's going to. And the defense is, but like, the point is like, sometimes like,
tipping their hand.
Don't underestimate how stupid sometimes people can be. Like, just get your best players the ball.
Yes.
And whatever way you got to do it, even if it seems telegraphed, it's like, make them think. Make them deal with that.
Yeah.
But get your best guys the ball.
Yes. Last thing, you missed it. And it was hilarious. I wish I had videos on it. Rule was licking his lips. Literally, I don't know if it was either he either needed some chapstick or dude needed some water. Like, he was cotton mouthed like you wouldn't believe.
He went to the Sahara right before.
And was like, because every time they would go to the sideline, I mean, it was almost as if someone like took a paintbrush of McDonald's barbecue sauce and like painted it right on his lips. And then they started the game. He was just like, or have you ever given a dog peanut butter and there's like, I don't know what was, because the other games he wasn't a lip licker.
Maybe I hope it's not a nervous tick. Callahan got there. He got the nervous tick.
Yeah, I hope or Jeff Sims started seducing Rule a little bit. It's like, come back in.
Oh my God, Nick Bahe.
I'm sorry. I had no intentions of that being. I had my little Fedoni going to Canton, Ohio. I had my little Austin Powers. Hey, keep your hands off my hiney. I did not think I would talk about Sims seducing.
Nick, this is what happens when we turn you loose.
I'm sorry. By the way, look at this. Shouts out to Aaron. Tweeted, I think that's her and her husband. They had tweeted at me. They were having Heinies for Heine on Twitter. We got Heinies for Mr. Heine. Okay, so I mean, look at us. We are just like, we're efficient right now. Look at us.
Dang right. You know what we need to do?
What?
I think we need to head to Canton.
Let's go to Canton with Thomas. Let's go.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.